students coming from India, they live in their group. Also, they do not utilize the resources available with the university. Well, we are more empathetic than sympathetic. We are easy to mold as per the student's requirement. We do not accept anyone or everyone. So I want to empower the students with that information and then take a decision.
Hey Aakriti, welcome to the Business Club podcast. So what we do here is, every week we try to highlight one small business. I know you're getting big, but for me, in my eyes, you're one of us right now, and I'm hoping that you'll become one big, very big one day. So thank you, and welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Sudev. It looks like an excellent initiative, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Thank you so much. And so the way we do this is that we ask you a little bit about your background. We have a few sections. Most of the questions are impromptu, and it'll lead from one thing to the other. Feel free to answer the way you are. If you're not comfortable with some answers, as much as possible, just be open and frank.
I understand.
Okay. Cool. So to get started, just let the audience know who you are, what's your background, when did you come to the US, and what you've been doing since then.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Aakriti Jain. I am founder of Rise Higher Education. I am an education counselor by profession and passion. It's been 17 years since I have been servicing students in order to get admission into their dream university their profile deserves. And since last couple of years, I have my own counseling establishment with the name Rise Higher Education. And we are using our experience and seasoned counselors with the data-backed information in order to help students amplify their profile, identify the correct resources as well as institution and courses their profile aligns with, and in order to empower their profile in or getting admission into the best possible institution with the least cost. So we initially started with our old school structure of one-on-one counseling. Now with the AI tsunami last year, we have also utilized some of the
Yes, tsunami.
resources.
It's a great way to put that. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's no escaping
Yeah.
of it. We have to incorporate it in our platform. So we are able to build a platform in which students can have the whole comprehensive admission and counseling structure without any human intervention in case they would like to. We are always there to support them, but it is up to the students' convenience and comfort what they would like from us.
What has changed from before to now, from with the introduction of AI?
Oh, it has changed multifold. I mean, it's beyond any imagination. It's both good and bad, honestly, because now earlier the students were a little more focused about getting the answers, and now they just search it, with the help of AI. Earlier, the students were much more ready to put their efforts in writing those essays
Right.
and statement of purposes, approaching the professors for letters of recommendation and content, because our team have team of professional writers who are pass outs from Harvard and Oxford. So we help the students in drafting, perfecting those essays, admission essays. So earlier students were more ready to write those. Now they just use AI, and it goes against them. It goes against their application. It goes against their own superpower in order to present themselves well for the universities. So it is good that you can have the answers very promptly. Those who cannot afford it, they don't have to take the help from the professional writer, but it is bad as well because universities are quickly able to identify that it is an AI written essay and it's a direct rejection.
Oh, really? Okay. So take us a little bit back. What inspired you to take a career in counseling? A career in career counseling is a career in higher education counseling, right?
Yeah.
So what inspired you to take that?
It was an accident, honestly. Before education counseling, I was into finance. I was into the securities and money market. I was a portfolio manager. So I was helping people build their portfolios. That's a combination of securities and shares and money market.
In
And
here or in India?
in India, I
Okay.
belong to Delhi. So I was working there in the finance department as a relationship manager there. And I met with an accident, a bad one.
Oh,
So my office was very far, so that led me to have 2 months of, I have to
rest.
cut off from the office there. So that made me think that I need something which is nearby. So I had an office, my first education consultancy, and I approached them. I interviewed with them, and I got selected. The main motivation
This
behind
was
that.
about 17 years ago.
Yes, the
Okay.
main motivation behind having that approach is because my brother already went to US in
Hmm.
order to study for masters. So I was already always intrigued with contrast in the Indian education system and that of US education system. So I wanted to have that in-depth knowledge, and that due to that excitement, I just joined there, and I never looked back since then.
Cool. So you completed your education. You were a portfolio manager, and then by accident, due to an accident, you joined this
Education
education
counseling.
industry. So, in what was your education background before that?
I am a graduate in economics
Okay.
and a postgraduate in business administration with finance as major and minor as HR.
Oh, very good. Okay, great. And what's the thought behind Rise Higher Education? What's your vision and mission? What is that you want to do eventually in an ideal scenario if funding is not an issue?
So I wanted to make all the resources available for the future students. There is so much power of education counseling that a lot of people have been able to misuse it as well, and they are misleading students. They are brainwashing students. Students take impromptu information from here and there, and they try to join it without understanding the implications of it. So I want to give the students all the resources which are available, and would want to empower them to take the more informed decision about their education. So there should be right reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not because my cousin have been there, my friends have been there, my girlfriend and boyfriend have been there, I just want to go there. There have been so many times in which students just want to do MBA,
Right.
engineering, immediately after completing engineering, they want to do MBA, or even after having very good experience of 3 or 4 years in a technical field, pharmacy, biotechnology, they just want to do MBA without realizing if they would stick to their own industry, they would have better future
Got it.
implication. So I want to empower the students with that information and then take a decision.
When you started, um, when did you start the Rise Higher actually?
This is our second year in
This
running.
is second year running. So prior to that, were you working full time or?
Yes. So I have been working in counseling analog houses, including IDP Education.
Hmm.
They are the one which owns IELTS
No, yeah,
examination.
okay.
And then I worked with the upcoming, high tech startups, as well as um HEIs as well here in US. There are small community colleges wherein I
Hmm.
have worked with. I came here 8 years ago. I was back in India for a year and a half in the middle, but I came here 8 years ago, and since then I have been consulting with a lot of companies, helping them train their team, helping them train their visa, setting up their
Processing.
processes, and now I feel that there's a lot of people who would like to jump into the industry because of it's a good revenue stream, but they don't do their research. And I'm kind of sick and tired of explaining the same thing to everyone that, don't do this. So our industry, our education industry is something in which it's business,
Hmm.
revenue is the motive. And there are some institutions which will yield you some revenue commission, while
Hmm.
some institution would not. So anyway, anyone who is doing that business is motivated to send the students into the revenue yielding or the commission yielding
Right,
institution,
right.
which is great. But are these institutions correct for the students?
That's
Yes or
the
no?
question.
Yeah. So consultants or the counselors or the new age companies which are coming in, they don't look for that. They don't look for the students' benefit in the mind. They are not here for the right reasons, and they just would blindly like to lure the students into a lesser selective or a commission in the institution because of their revenue, which is understood. It's
Yeah.
business. But then it is education. It's the most important. It could be the most important decision of a student's life. Their parents could be investing a humongous amount of money. They might be selling their land, they might be selling their property for this.
Yeah.
So it has to give them a lucrative future, which at most time is not. So keeping that in mind, I just wanted to check whether or not, with my intentions, whether or not I'll be able to extend my services for the student and also make money out of it. So I started initially one-on-one virtual counseling because my student base was in India. A lot of students who have been there through me, their spouses, their friends, they would like to recommend me. And I have been doing that with the previous organization. Now I started taking few cases on my own just to see, just to test the waters. And we were successful. 68% of our students got placed in the top 25 universities of the world, and our NPS have been 9.2. So that speaks volume for us.
What did you say that 9.2 was?
NPS.
Okay, net promoter score.
Yeah. So that speaks volume for us. So I got confidence in my offering, and then was a time in which I registered my company, and then I started building this digital platform so that the students don't have to hop from one place to another in order to get different kind of services. They can get everything under one blanket.
Got it. If I were to understand you, either is your target market India, or is it for the students to come outside, or is it across the globe?
Yeah.
And the universities are across the globe.
So at the moment, we deal with the top 20 countries of the world, and are
from a university perspective or from a student perspective?
From the university perspective. The source students is not a restriction for us because the countries do not restrict any students from any countries as well. So the source student is not a restriction for us. We keep on having inquiries from students from all other countries all the time, and we encourage them, we entertain them. Our basic main base of student demography is from India, and they are more postgraduate student. The students inquiries which we receive from here for domestic students is mostly undergraduate.
From the US?
From US, it's
US
undergraduate.
to US is undergrad.
Yes.
And India to US is mostly postgrad.
India to anywhere around
in the world.
Yeah.
So which are your top countries? You said top 20 countries, right? Let's say if you were to pick top 5.
Top 5. US, UK, now France, Canada, yeah, Australia, Germany, sometimes New Zealand and Ireland, and Singapore, Dubai, did I say Germany? Netherlands. So countries like France, Germany, and Netherlands are now they are grasping more importance among international students because of the more restriction involved in UK and now in Canada, and because of US not offering that much amount of the work visa, or a lot of restriction in terms of STEM. So that's why more and more students are going there.
Is language a barrier? For countries like France and Netherlands.
So more and more universities are now offering lectures completely in English. But we always do recommend, specifically if the student is going to countries like France and Germany, we always recommend to know at least preliminary A1 language of German, so that once they are there in the country, at least if they would have to talk to anyone for part-time job, they can do that. If they would have to just go to the supermarket and shop around, they can do that. And also when it comes to having any co-op or internship, they should have the preliminary, and then only the local businesses would like to recruit them. Otherwise, they would have to rely only on the companies which recruit English-speaking people only.
Got it. So talk to us a little bit about your unique counseling approach. I think you talked about being technology driven, plus in combination being sympathetic towards people. So talk to us a little bit about your approach, and why is it different and unique from the other counselors out there?
Well, we are more empathetic than sympathetic.
Okay.
We are easy to mold as per the student's requirement. We do not accept anyone or everyone. Honestly, we have been called snobbish into that approach. Students come to us with a lot of money. They're ready to do registration, and they just say, because my friend have been to their Cognitive University, I want to go there. They might or might not be having that kind of profile,
Qualification, yeah.
and we are very open to tell them that your chances of getting admission in the particular institution is bleak, so we would might like to entertain that.
So do
uh,
you lose out money on those
yeah,
candidates?
yeah, we do.
Sure. Does that mean that you take money from the candidates or
Mhm.
you don't?
We do.
You do. Okay.
At the moment,
Uh-huh.
we have come up with a new pricing policy. We are partnered with more than 1,400 institutions
Okay.
worldwide. So if the student would like to apply to our institutions only, and if they're only applying to one university, we do not charge them anything. If they're applying to up to 6 university among our partner institution, we charge them $199.
Mm-hmm.
And if the student would like to keep their options open and do not want to restrict them to only our partner institution, we charge them $399.
Okay. So if they're open, 399. If they're within your partner institutions, 199.
Yes.
Okay. And what's the other pricing? Or just the
So
two?
one university is free. They
One is
don't
free.
have to pay a single penny to us.
To you, but they have to still pay the application fee that the
A lot of
university.
universities are waiving off application
Okay.
fee since you are applying through Rise Higher Education.
Oh, really? Okay. That's
So
good.
at any of the level, if an application fee can be awarded to you, we will allot it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So we try our level best. We even bargain with the university, stating that this is the first priority institution for the students. So at times they waive it off. Sometimes the universities waive off application fee because they are attending a webinar through us to that
Right.
particular university. So a lot of ways application fee can also be waived off for them. And then again, there are those students who do not want to restrict themselves only to a partner institution, and that is the highest priority, like our economic mode, that we help the student in getting admission into the best possible institution their profile deserves. So we
Right.
don't govern that, right? We don't tell you that this and this is good. We understand the student's requirement. We understand the student selection criteria, maybe the course, concentration, location, duration, and we help them identify the admission requirement and the competitive requirement. So, competitive requirement is the average score of the students who are studying to the particular institution. So, we help them identify it. Accordingly, we categorize the university in being ambitious, moderate, and reach. And we tell them realistically that this and this is your shortlisting.
Got it.
And thereafter, they are free to compare the pros and cons, because student might be coming up with some preferences of location. They might be having some fees preferences. So we help them. We actually have a very, very effective comparison system. In which we just have a weighted average been converted. So we ask the student to identify their selection criteria the best among those, and we ask them to give them the rating, how much they mean to them, and then we ask to rate the university in terms of these 2 or 3 selection criterias, and then we ask them to make a summation. Then we have a clearer winner as to which university they should apply and why.
Cool. So help me understand. You said you have 1,400
Universities and
universities aligned to
colleges.
you.
Yeah.
When you started off and you build this relationship in the last 2 years, how did you do that?
So I have been into the industry since 15 years prior to that, and it's a very small industry. It's very tightly knit industry. We know everyone, honestly. We know about their families, we know about their kids now, and we have been following up and stalking everyone else on LinkedIn. So that is number one factor. Apart from that, me being the only one, and me being starting small, I also do not want to have that much amount of burden on me, because university partnerships also comes with commitment, and they comes with responsibility, that sometimes every university have
Yeah,
their
yeah, of
own
course. Yeah.
set of requirements. So sometimes they have some set of requirements, as in you have to give them at least some number of universities per year, which is not possible for me,
Number of
being stuck.
students, you mean?
Yes,
Okay.
number of students per year.
Per.
So which is not possible for me. I also do not have branches. I do not want to have the branches as of now. So instead I choose to do it through super agents.
Hmm.
Super agents are the invigilators who help, who have further tie up with the university, and they help us access to that particular network in exchange for a part of the commission.
Oh,
So
okay.
instead of like 100% of the commission, whatever I'm supposed to earn, I earn 70% or 80%.
So
But
the
then I
20,
don't
thirty
have to
percent
maintain the relationships with them.
20, 30% goes to them. So it's
Yes.
like an affiliate
Yes.
arrangement. You take
Yeah.
care of everything, but 70% of the commission comes to 30% goes to them.
Yeah.
They do they are like connected with they maintain the relationship with everyone.
Yes. So that is also not easy because, getting with them, because we are accredited from NACAC, ICF, PR, we
Hmm.
were able to get through with their network. But it's not like, anyone can blindly come and have the partnerships with them.
Hmm.
It takes time to even build the relationship with them and trust
Of
and
course.
features with them. But yeah, we are able to do that. So we are pretty happy about it.
Awesome. Awesome. So, and how do you build the network in India? Do you use it through search engine optimization, or is it through connections or through referrals? How do you, just not India, but in anywhere in the world? So,
That is our pain point, honestly, at the moment, because education counseling is something which is so, it involves a lot of time, and it involves a lot of human touch for us, human efforts for us. So till now our students have all only been referrals, referrals of referrals. We are unable to focus more on marketing. We wanted to, but because this consumes so much amount of time, we are unable to do that. But that is very well in the future. As soon as our product development is done,
hmm.
we would like to
This was
market
focused
more.
on
Yeah.
product development. Okay.
Yes. So we would be going ahead with the, extending our marketing services, maybe approaching few of the colleges and universities, or maybe organizations, in order to, supply them whatever services they
Oh,
would need.
great. I did hear the term called pocket counselor
Hmm.
in in the brief profile that you submitted. Can you talk a little bit about that and what does it mean to a layman like me?
It's a very detailed thought process behind Pocket Counselor. It's as easy as taking out your phone and having all the information in front of you. And you don't have to visit a center in order to get the answers done.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of people who are involved behind higher education. For some students, mostly postgraduate students, they take the decision themselves. Undergraduate students, parents are involved, grandparents are involved, or guardians are involved. So they should be able to have the answers as and when they require, and also in the language they require.
Why would somebody to choose a pocket counselor as opposed to, say, a chat GPT?
ChatGPT, first of all, it's updated like, you know, uh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
September
That's fine.
2023.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not sure about the date, but
yeah.
it is
But it's
not
not updated
updated.
as frequent as,
Yeah.
okay.
And you would really have to feed the model in order to get the accurate answer.
Yours is yours is pretty up to date, is what you're saying.
We give data back results.
Hmm.
We do not do a guesswork. Right, I'm not searching on and just gasping all the information from here and there. We give you the exact result, data back result,
Hmm.
which is available on the university website.
Okay, okay. So it's from the direct sources from the university.
Yes.
So you have a centralized database that you have, and then you pull the information
Yes.
from the university and then disseminate to the
To the
student.
students,
Okay,
yes,
as
as
and
and
when they.
when.
Okay.
Mhm. Because there are a lot of things which actually can be automated, while there are a lot of things which cannot be
Yeah, of
automated.
course. Yeah.
So we are bridging that particular gap. And since there are a lot of things which comes from experience only, right? And having, oh, my graduation percentage is 3.3 on a scale of 5. On a scale of 4, can I get admission into Stanford or MIT? ChatGPT will say, of course you can. So we will take our experience, we will see what else you put in your profile, and we will align it with the other students who have been got admission into those institutions. So we compare it with the historical data, and we'll give you a clearer picture. Then you decide whether or not to go ahead with our services, right? It's not upfront. It's not like, oh, pay us money and then we'll talk about it. So it's not upfront. Once we align with the thought process, then only we'll be able to help you out and take your profile ahead.
Nice. Lot of students that I know of, struggle with both admission
Mhm.
as well as the finances,
Yeah,
financial backing, or what is that called, scholarships.
financial aid.
Yeah. So how do you help them? How do you overcome those challenges?
So we
And
first of all will tell the students. It's so funny. Every student, who comes to us nowadays, because maybe we have built our scholarship portal. I'll explain more about it shortly. But every students are coming with a financial requirement that I need financial aid, and not only financial aid, I need 100% scholarship. So I tell them, okay, what's your profile? I tell them a very clearer scenario that if you are going for a research oriented program, you have better chance of getting an admission.
mhm,
But then you would have to work on your research proposal. You would
right.
have to make that step in order to approach the professors, which they're not ready to do.
Mm,
And sometimes students, even they are not even I'm trying to tell them you're not eligible to get admission into the kind of university they're like,
trying for,
okay,
okay.
yeah. And they're like, oh, what about scholarship? How much scholarship will I get? So then I explain them the bifurcation. The scholarship means different kind of scholarship. Either it's a merit based scholarship or a financial aid, which your profile might not be eligible
Right.
for. The second thing is a need based scholarship, so that you can show to the university that you require that particular funding in order to fund your education here in US or UK or any other country. But it is a tricky business, right? Sometimes university, the department, the vice chancellors do not have that much amount of funding
Mm,
available. So at the time of application, with the help of statement of purpose, letters of recommendation, you keep on writing that I would only be able to fund my education if I have 100% funding available. My parents have invested all their money in my education till date, and I'm not able to get the job because of COVID, and now
yeah.
because of inflation, I'm not able to get it. Which is,
The
the
fact.
reasons are correct,
Mm,
but if the university do not have that much amount of funding available, they are going to reject your application there and
mm,
then, right? It's better to get the admit first and then see what resources are available for you for the scholarships and financial aid, and apply. Now, for scholarship and financial aid, universities are providing excellent amount of opportunities both for domestic student and international
mm,
students. So as soon as they get the admit, we help them identify that these and these are the eligible resources offered by the university where you should apply. We also encourage them,
mm.
because students, they're laid back. They comes with a thought process that only 10% of the students are getting scholarship. My point is 10% are still getting
Still
admission.
getting it, yeah.
You are part of that. You could be part of that
Right.
10%. If you're eligible to get admission, you're eligible to get scholarship, as simple as that. Then we have also built in a scholarship portal called Scholarize. I mean, I'm very big on names. I would like
Yeah, yeah.
to
Scholarize is a great name. It incorporates scholarships as well as Rise.
exactly.
Mm,
So that was the first thing we built in. We
mm,
have hired some data scientists and data engineers, and we have really scraped all the information of all the non-university scholarships available for domestic students as well as international students. So, with the help of filters, students are able to filter out the exact and customized results of the scholarship they're eligible for.
mm.
It could be based on their nationality, it could be based on their special needs, maybe physically challenged or LGBTQ. It is also based on male or female. It could also be based on some of the specific criteria if they're going for a public funded university or a private university. So with the help of that, when students do Google search, like we have uh, tested waters with lot of scholarship portals, and the accuracy we have got was not more than 60%, to be honest. And we find that students get more than 100 results when they are looking for scholarship, and that is a
Right,
demotivating
right.
factor. Even for me, I would not apply for 100 scholarships, right? So with the help of our portal, they get the exact customized result, maybe 15 or 17, and they are more reluctant. They
The
can save,
strike rate is higher.
yeah, they can actually save the result whichever scholarship applies to them, and they can come back to our portal. They can apply for those scholarships, so they have better chance of getting the scholarship because they're able to identify the exact scholarship they're eligible for.
Do you have any kind of step by step process laid out or guidance laid out for these students who are getting into the Scholarize
Mhm.
and trying to figure out how to get the scholarships?
Yes. So, firstly, all the services what we are offering, they are not the sequential services. Like
Mhm.
student, if they would like to just come and have the scholarize access, they can do that. We have made an open link,
Oh, okay.
and they can do that. Um, when you log into Scholarize, you have a scholarship counseling. So at the moment, I'm explaining you the different kind of scholarships and financial aid. Maybe every student do not choose to approach me, and I do not have time to answer it to each and every student. So we have made the scholarship counseling available to them to help them identify the words of trade. And once they do, then they can, go ahead and access the scholarship portal. There as well, we prompt that you should use this, you should not use that, and do not use all the filters at once,
Right. Yeah.
because then also you will get a demeaning result. So we prompt them, we give them all the instructions via mail as well as on screen, and then they are able to accurately navigate the
Navigate the
scholarship.
system. Okay.
We have
Good.
got good feedback for Scholarize. I'm happy about it.
Awesome. So, what's your thought on scaling it globally, and with, as you say, empathy and data security?
That's a good question. um, Initially, with preliminary founders mind, when I came into this industry, because I've worked with a lot of startups, I've got really motivated. I've seen a lot of people doing good into the particular industry. I thought that it's a easy nut to crack, right? Which is not. So I thought that it will multiply monthly, or it will
Yeah.
multiply
Yeah.
quarterly. Now I would like to take one step at a time. Initially, I would like, at the moment, as I've mentioned, we are doing our product development. So it's, I mean, the shortlisting of what I was talking about is almost done. We would be able to do it. And the next thing is a blueprint. So blueprint is basically the career blueprint. So as and when whosoever would like to access that particular blueprint, and they're at a particular level. Say for example, they are school kids and they would like to be data scientists one day, right? So they would like to see what they should do in order to be that particular data scientist. So with the help of that, in a city of Boston in Massachusetts, or they would like to go to California, wherever. So our blueprint platform will be able to help them identify what steps they should take, what courses they should do, full-time, part-time, certificates, diplomas, that could include free or paid, and which will be able to make them for the job description requirement what they are aiming to do. So that is what our next production would be. So with that, we are helping to capture more market, and we are at the moment we are we are struggling with the pricing plan, because me as the counselor, I do not want to charge anything from the student, but then in order to make all these things
The big
available for the
concept. Yeah.
student, we would need money. So I there are some mentors which are part of my network. Maybe you you can help me in identifying the pricing strategy which we should take, so that it is not an external burden
Yeah. Yeah.
for the student, but they are still able to get the accurate information.
That's great. So, there are a lot of challenges. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of challenges in the education counseling business that you are in. How do you overcome that, and what have been some of your biggest challenges,
Biggest challenges is to clear a lot of
doubts, and questions in the people's mind?
no, that I love to do. That's what I'm here for. But those students who are brainwashed, they're like literally brainwashed. So when I started my career, the first things which I took are in the previous organizations as well was Canada as a study market, which was up and coming in a destination like Delhi, like 17 years ago, 10 years ago. And I was, I'm very happy that I was able to put my branches to the top of the best performing branches all over. And but there is lot of misconception that for Canada, if I'm saying as an example, every student is going there for PR state of
Yeah.
mind, and that will only come once they have the post study work visa, and that will only come if the course is for 2 years or more. And whichever background they're from, they're mechanical engineers, they're civil engineers, they all are going for global business management, international business management, because it's a 2 years program and they get 3 years of post study work visa. So telling them that there are courses into your field as well, mechatronics as well, which you can actually do, you can actually perform better on,
Right.
and you would be able to get better results. What will a mechanical engineer after 2 years ago of global business manager do? Right?
Still go back to the basics.
Exactly. You're wasting all the 4 years
Yeah.
what you have studied in your engineering. So rather than utilize this, capitalize it. So telling them that was the biggest nut to crack for me. Now we are able to do that because now students are actually coming from referrals mostly, and they know that we are blunt, right?
Right.
It is more for us. I mean, if the student has been accepted by RISE, that is a better opportunity for them rather than otherwise. So the decision making is actually not with them; it's with
Right.
us.
Cool. So, help me understand from a student's perspective, why would they come to Rise as opposed to a Y-axis or a couple of other big players in the industry?
Y-axis is mostly majorly doing immigration, as far as I know. They might be doing student visa.
Okay.
I
As
have
far as
a
I know, I think they're also into student counseling too.
really.
I may be wrong. Okay.
Okay. I do not, I'm off with that industry research. Honestly, there is a deep admiration for me from some of the organizations like IDP. I can call it my parent organization somehow. And my first organization is Impel. Some companies like Leverage Edu and I-20 Fever, they are doing excellent. I have been following them, their progress on LinkedIn. So all this has been great. I've heard great work what they do, because they really go in depth and they really answer the students query. What I really like about my organization, which I get it as a student feedback, that we are able to understand them better. We do not impose anything on the students,
Hmm.
so we are really able to understand their requirements and their prerequisites, and accordingly we have
So
made the
customize
shortlisting.
it
Yeah.
based on their
So, which
requirements.
others are unable to do.
Mhm.
Others are giving them all the students the same results. So that is what we get as a feedback. So that is what I feel is working for us.
That's helps you stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, and we also talk to the university. We fight with the university a lot regarding the students. We really try to convince them. There have been so many cases. I don't know, a lot of people do that, a lot of people are aware about it, but students get rejection, and they are
Yeah.
mostly demotivated. And sometimes a lot of students are really convinced about their profile. We as a counselor are very convinced about their profile, that this is the appropriate match for the particular student. So what we do is, after they get a rejection, we write them a reconsideration email, on the student's behalf, just
You
giving
go that
them,
extra mile to.
yeah, just explaining them one last time, not a very detailed email, not the resume and statement of purpose again, but giving them the reason why this is the appropriate match, in case they are unable to understand it, with the help of statement of purpose. And we have, it's not a foolproof plan, but we have had success even with the
Yeah, why
Columbia
not, right?
University.
So someone who got rejected with your letter of recommendation or an outreach, they were able to get the reconsideration done.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we have doing, there are a lot of things in which students receive a communication from the university and they get demotivated. So we help them. We even write the emails for the student
Oh,
there
really?
and then. Yeah, sometimes they take us for granted. I do not want to do that, because students do face issues once they are actually in the university. They would now have to do it everything on their own. I can't be with them
Yeah, yeah, you
forever.
can't. They have to learn to do it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we do, and that's what is really working out for us. That we really fight for. We believe in them, and we really fight for them till the end.
Cool. So I've gone to your website and I browsed through it a little bit before my research here. I see that you've incorporated a lot of AI into this, and you know, uh, education at the end of the day is very human also. How do you strike the balance between AI and
I'm unable to do that so far. I'm not a fan of AI. I'm only incorporating those elements because it is the need of hour.
yeah,
Everyone wants that there should be a bot which should be
yeah,
popping
popping
up.
up, yeah,
But I'm not a fan of it, because even I hardly use it. Even if I'm using any of the banking services, if there's a chatbot, I just say connect to human. So I just do it for the sake of doing it. But only few things, like the everyday routine, rudimentary task what a counselor performs on everyday basis can be eased out with AI. That I agree with. So say for example, the students keep on asking, what is the TOEFL requirement for the particular university, or what is the application deadline for the particular university, and the counselor have to check it on the university website or the shortlisting every time. Uh, that can be done through AI on that chatbot, but that is it. according to me, that is
But
it.
the counseling actually happens one to one.
Yeah, the counseling has to happen one to one, because we see a lot of lot kind of when initially we have launched, the students are asking everything, right, left and center. What are my chances of getting into University of Texas at Austin? This and this is my profile, and they want AI to answer that,
Right.
right? How can you answer that till the time you do not have experience to that? So we have the historical data. We would be able to give them a comparison. We know how our students have got into and what are their chances of getting admission into that, and then accordingly we suggest them. So I highly say, do not go blindly with AI, and do not just make everything your
So yours is like mostly human, little AI
yeah.
is what
Yeah.
you would
So
position.
AI we are using in order to make all the information available to the students, right?
Okay.
In a more smarter way, in a more quicker way. But
Hmm.
we are not actually using the AI intelligence per se. In
To
yeah,
answer the students. Okay.
yes.
I get it. So we will do a small, digression. I heard, and I just heard that you are women featured on Women 40 Under 40.
Yes.
So very hearty congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So can you explain a little bit about what did you achieve, and um, what was, and a little bit success stories on that front, please.
So till now, I also don't know who nominated me. They only reached out to me saying that they have received my nomination from three sources, which is
Wow.
great.
Okay.
And they were silent sources so far. They do not disclose it. Then I went through the program of personal interviews and few rounds, and then they said that I have been nominated for
Awesome.
under Future Leadership Award, Fortune Leadership Award, for my contribution in education. Again, it has been unbiased. That is why more and more people are recommending us. I've also been featured in America's Who's Who
Oh wow.
for the
Congratulations.
upcoming EdTech. And so I feel that it's a good pat on the back, to help you, if someone is there to help you, is there to identify that you are
And yeah,
actually doing a little bit of
rewards are
work.
always welcome. Awards are always welcome.
Yeah, that is true.
Hmm.
And that you are doing a little bit of work, and that also gives you a scope of what more
Yeah,
you
what
can
can you
do.
do? Yeah.
So there are a lot more to be done. I recognize that, I acknowledge that. But there's a lot of things happening. So, if I'm talking about Indian education space at the
Hmm.
moment, especially higher education, more and more students are going abroad for higher education, because you also know
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
the competition for getting into Indian university is next to impossible.
Are you trying the reverse too?
They,
From people going from here to
yeah,
Indian? Okay.
yeah. So we help them in getting admission into the Indian universities. We help them recognize the admission requirements which are there, and there is a lot of reverse immigration happening at the moment.
Hmm.
So a lot of students who are from Australia, who are from Canada, they are my students at the moment, and they're applying to US as well as India. And that is what is happening. That is the reality of the art. But again, the competition is fierce as when it comes to Indian university. I
Of
wish it
course.
is easier. It's
There's no
not.
quota system there.
Yeah, there's no quota system there, and you just give, even if you're talking about a better university here, you give your GRE, GMAT,
Mm-hmm.
and you're sorted with that, right? There's no additional thing. But when it comes to Indian universities, the list is endless. Even if you are on the top of the ranking, you would not be able to get through. So, yes, there's a lot more work to be done over there, and I again, those, with the increasing competition, with the new startups coming in, they're coming up with every kind of tips and tricks, or maybe um, uh, they're just doing anything and everything in order to attract the students, including offering financial incentives, including offering the flight tickets, including offering iPad, including offering. So there's something called um, form of representation. So in case we are representing a student to a particular university, they would have to sign a form
Right.
in order to authorize us. So they are offering financial incentive to change that form of representation. And if I'm a counselor, I might have worked with the student for 4 5 months, 6 months, and at the end of the time, they are offering financial incentive, maybe $1,000, $2,000 for the student to change it, and
To
then they
go
are
to
getting,
them.
yeah,
Okay.
go to them.
That's more like sign up bonus kind of thing for changing the.
So that
Mm,
goes against our
it's like,
ethics.
yeah,
Even if you are
corruption.
looking for any code of ethics, including NACAC or ICF, that goes against. So they don't know because they are not accredited, they are not
Mm,
recognized. They just jump into the business. They got funding from few of the companies, and they would have to repeat back, and they are doing anything and everything. And now sometimes when we talk to the students, they're like, what are you offering us externally? What are you offering us as a part of commission? Okay, you are doing us the free processing. What part of commission can you offer us? I hang up the phone. I'm like, if you do not have respect for
oh
my
yeah, yeah, yeah.
profession, then you're not part of my student.
Yeah, great. So let's talk a little bit about the industry trends and the future of higher education.
Mhm.
What shift do you think is happening in the higher education space now?
A lot of waivers.
Hmm.
Earlier, after COVID, understandably, the waiver was GRE, GMAT,
Right.
SAT, ACT, because a lot of centers were not open who were conducting that examination. A lot of examination also went for the home edition, which is not acceptable by the universities now. So, a lot of universities have either waived off those entry requirements or they have made it optional. So, nowadays, even if okay, without GRE and GMAT, the students have a lot of options. Students do not want to give the IELTS, English proficiency exam as well. They just want to get a MOI written
Hmm.
by their university stating then the language of
What's an
instruction is
MOI?
English. It's medium of
Oh,
instruction
medium. Okay.
certification stating that the language of instruction in the university have been English, so they are
Hmm.
proficient. Some university, very few of them accept it, and most of them do not. Right,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
students just hear it that on the basis of MOI they can get a waiver. So I can say like 2% of the universities are accepting it, right? Your profile could be eligible for a lot more,
Right, right,
right?
right.
When it comes to countries like maybe UK, yeah, a lot of things are also based on the point based system.
Hmm.
When you go and apply for your permanent residency, so you would need 70 points, and 10 points of them are from IELTS. Now, when you apply for IELTS waiver, you do not get that, right? So you are saving 17,000 or 18,000 rupees by not giving IELTS examination,
Right.
getting admission on the basis of this. But in the long term, you are making a huger amount of loss.
Hmm.
So that particular misconception needs to be changed among the student. They should be
Right.
ready to actually give something towards their career.
Give us a little bit of a flavor in the global perspective in student counseling versus local perspective.
So domestic student versus
Domestic versus
international student.
international students, yes.
So, domestic students are more acceptable towards the change. They are more realistic in their expectations. They have been working on their profile since a very long time, since their high school time, and they are more acceptable towards getting admission into a local university.
Hmm.
Local means even if they are getting admission into UNCC, it's good. Even in Duke, it's good. When it comes to international students, they know 15 university names and they do not want to talk about anything else.
Hmm.
Even if I'll tell, so I have had someone who told me that my brother got admission, and he got some grades in 12th, and he got admission into the Ivy League. I'm like, okay, that's great. And which university was that? He said University of Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
I'm like,
Hmm.
wow,
UPenn.
that's awesome. When I talked to him, he was a graduate from Penn State University.
So they did not have the basic definition of which is a.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then they're like, even after that person was a graduate from IIT, and he was like, even after me being graduate from IIT, why I'm not eligible for Ivy League when my brother just with 60% has got admission into Ivy League. Even I was perplexed with it. So I sorted it. I talked to his brother. I'm like, not the same.
Yeah, spelling mistakes.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the significant difference between students in India, in the US, their culture and the aspirations and the challenges that you face?
One challenge which I face, one challenge which I, keep on telling to the students on regular basis, which we receive as a feedback from the universities, they don't mix up.
Mm.
right? Students coming from India, they coming from some locality, could be South India, could
They're
be
not very
Telugu, could
social.
be
Mm.
and they live in their group. What is the use of you coming all the seven seas? You
Yeah.
traveling all the seven seas if you would have to stay in your group.
Right.
Also, they do not utilize the resources available with the university. There are the career centers. They do not guarantee any placement. I agree. They are not ready with the offer letter for you. But you have to go there, you have to make an
Approach them.
initiative,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
approach them, register them, so that they can keep on updating you with all the new jobs coming into the market, about the internship, which are the companies which come on campus.
Summer
And this
programs. Yeah.
updation only gets to the students who actually registers with them.
Oh,
They do not make an initiative, like it's not their work, it's not their duty to inform each and every student
so
that this
you
job
have
is
to be
coming.
available to all the resources so that
Yeah.
the resources can come to you
Yeah,
when it's
so they
time.
are hesitant that, oh, no, 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 even for scholarship they are hesitant, oh, I will not get it. How will you not get it, right? Till the time you do
Right.
not apply, it's okay. Even if you get a rejection, there is nothing you are going beyond, right? It's not
That's
an
true.
application rejection, it's just a scholarship rejection.
Cool. So let's talk a little bit about some emerging trends in international admission, and financial assistance and things like that. Can you opine on that?
So now everyone, like, I can say 4 years ago everyone was going towards business analyst, business analyst, business analyst. 2 years ago it was data science, data science, data science. Now it's engineering management, engineering management, engineering management.
Engineering management.
Yes, and
Wow.
MIS, engineering management, and MIM. These kind of programs are trending at the moment. And
Why so?
I mean, not for 4 years. Business analyst is something which
It's
is
been happening
acceptable
for quite
for,
some time. Okay.
yeah, which is acceptable by the non-technical background people as well. And everyone knows when you come to North America, you have better opportunities
In
working in a
business
more
and all that.
technical field, even if you belong to the non-tech background, being a BA. So it was kind of a easy process for
Entry.
everyone, and they were able to fulfill the entry requirements, and the fruits were I mean, whatever revenue they were yielding, or the returns on the investment was high as well. But there have been good amount of influx, right? And now the companies are focusing more on the top cream of
No,
all the
okay.
students. So now everything is towards data science.
Now or
2 years ago
yeah.
it moved to data science, data science, data science, data science, data analytics. Now since 6 months, ai
Of course.
ai AI cybersecurity, which is good, which is extremely good. But then again, those students who do not understand it, sometimes students take an initiative and along with the engineering, because even if a student is from EXTC background or triple E background, somehow for some reason in India, everyone just end up working in a technology based
Yeah.
company. Um,
Most of them. Yeah.
yeah, so sometimes students take an initiative and do that particular courses alongside all the language programs, and they're able to do well in data science. But most of the time, students do not, right? And on the basis of their engineering, they are now getting admission there. They are unable to understand that it's a very comprehensive program. It's not an easy nut to crack.
Right.
You understand that there's a good amount of job market, but in order to reach to that job market, you really have to outperform yourself.
That's right.
So for that, I kind of give them a reality check that these and these are the curriculum. Take time, understand it, and if you are able to focus it, then only you can face it, because you would have to study it from the first semester. So AI, data science, and then it's MIS. MIS and MIS is kind of open for students with the diverse background. It Then there was course into project management, which was very, very prominent. Now it's all about MEM, because even after MEM you have different amount of avenues available. You
Right.
can
Right.
actually work in a different tech stack company, and you can offer your finances. So those students who feel that they are stuck into engineering but they have that management knack, they
Right.
always go for MEM.
Cool. So let's talk from a parent's perspective. The parents of the students. What should they be aware of? I know there's a lot of, I don't want to call it scams, but there are a lot of people, a lot of companies who charge a lot of money on different avenues. But of course, you're different. So what should they be aware of while applying? Because you don't want them to burn a lot of money
Yeah.
just upfront.
Yeah. And that's what we tell our students as well, that we are, you are not here to just waste your application fee and time and resources. We are also not here to help you do that. You should be realistically be able to understand where you stand. So we always have the counseling session with the parents, to tell them that what is the strength of their student's profile and what is not the strength. Usually, in most of the cases, specifically undergraduate, parents and students are not aligned. When we
Are
talk,
not aligned
not at all
in
aligned.
the postgraduate or on the undergrad?
Undergraduate.
Really?
So,
Okay.
because for undergraduate, the counseling is usually together, and either the parents are talking or the kid is talking, right? So, when
Oh,
the parents are talking, they tell us, oh, he's interested for law, he's interested for business management, we are coming from a business family, and he would be taking our business ahead, or he just wants to do data science because they have heard that data science have a good scope abroad. So, he's interested for all of that. I'm like, okay, let's do that. After a few rounds of shortlisting, after a few rounds of discussion, I'm like, okay, can I talk to the student once? And he's completely
so
out
you
of
restart
subject.
the work then?
Yeah, I'm like, he's more into statistics, which adds up for data science,
Yeah.
but it is not completely defining the data science. Or he's into completely different profession. He would like to do acting. I agree that some of the things might not be what parents would like to do, what parents
Well,
would
likes
like
the
to do
students to
their
do.
culture. But again, it should not be totally misaligned, because at the end of it, it is the student who have to go there and study.
Right.
So that's why we focus on having the student speak up as well, and then help the parents identify that what is the scope of the opportunity the student is asking for, and then only we take the things ahead.
Cool. So you spend a lot of time talking to the students and their parents, right?
Mhm.
How much of time you spend every day on that?
Oh, there is no cap. I have the team here, and I also have team in India. So we as counselors, we are always connecting with the students, whether via through emails, whether voice calls, WhatsApp messages. Whenever they want a response, they just text us and we give them a response. I cannot put a timeline on it.
Hmm.
Sometimes they just need that motivation. They might be giving some kind of examination in which they have lacked 1 or 1.5 points last time, and now they would like to improvise it. So we are just here to motivate them. Sometimes students have not performed well in GRE examination, and we are trying to convince them, try giving GMAT examination, because we have heard that the students are able to score better, and all the kind of universities you are targeting, they're accepting better scores. So
Hmm.
just in order to help them understand, because they're always in a little bit of a demotivated state of mind if they have not got good score. That is not part of our
Yeah.
job, actually. We are not paid for that, but still we would like to motivate them, and we would like to encourage them, and we would like to make their chances into a better ranked
Yeah, of course.
university.
So for that counseling, you say you're charging $199?
Yes.
Okay. And how long does that go? Let's say if I'm a student, I'm in India, $199 equates to about around 17, 18,000 rupees. I pay that money and then I get into a counseling. How long will that counseling last?
So we are with the student for a year. Our discussions with the students are uh, too close initially, when it comes to understanding their requirements, shortlisting the
It's not per
universities.
hour or it's not. So
Nah,
once they pay
for the whole
for
process,
oh, okay.
A to
Okay.
Z process, they are paying for
That's
us for
awesome.
that.
Okay.
But it's the universities is the limit. So they're paying 199 for processing of up to 6 universities.
Okay.
So if they would like to apply to more, they have to pay the
And
same
that's
processing
part of
fee.
the counseling is part of the whole 199 package.
Yes. And so initially our discussions are more once as and when the students have their admit, our discussions are lesser, and we help the students in just identifying what all post pre-departure services they would need, whether they would need the student loan. So we have a education loan department who helps them in comparing the student loan offering from public sector bank, private bank, and BFCs, international lenders, and so that they know where they stand, if they would like to give collateral or not, if they have a cosigner or not. Then we tell them these and these are the eligible option, and we are able to give them a better uh, rate on the student loan. They can get the student loans. We also help them in opening the bank before the student is here, bank account, sorry, before the student is here. So they don't have to worry about whether or not their kids will have
Right.
sufficient amount of funds or whether or not they're thrift spending. We also help them in opening the SIM card, flight tickets.
Those are separate charges, or is it part of the
No, it's part of our portal,
pack, package?
which
Okay.
which they can actually come and
Excellent.
avail whatever they need. So again, it is A to Z. The bank account which we are talking about, they are able to even make their credit score without having an SSN. So initially, till the time they do not have their SSN,
Awesome.
they can have that. And because students come here, the first scheme they see, they open the credit card and that hits their score, and we don't want that. So we prepare them, we explain them how it works, and as and when they're here, their parents are able to track the money. If the kids require, they can send it as well.
Great. So, will the students in the US also pay a similar amount?
Yes.
It's a flat fee,
Yeah.
irrespective of where you're from. Okay. Great. What advice do you have for aspiring students in terms of, especially the ones who are actually seeking studies in the US or UK or Canada in general at a very high level?
Don't go for the self-proclaimed mentors, or don't go for
Learn.
Wikipedia or Chat GPT mentors. Honestly, don't like blindly follow them. Do your research. I really love the students who are realistic, who understand their profile, who are realistic about their expectation because they have done research, versus someone who actually told them. Because my when a student tells me, or someone told me, I know that this conversation is going to be, it's gonna go in a gutter. Because students tell you anything and everything, that, oh, my friend has done that, my uncle auntie has done that, you can go there and you'll have your PR. They got their PR, they got their GC. I'm like, okay, why you are coming with it? So I'm like, do your research. Everything is available on Google, without asking me, without doubting me. Do your research. I'm here to provide you with the better services, but you should have that kind of trust and faith.
Right, absolutely. And how can people or how can students use tools like your Pocket Counselor to effectively manage their application process and things like that?
So we give them more transparent version of where the process is going. Even for application, they don't have to follow up with us. What is it going? We every week we check the status of their application and we update our records. Whatever needs to be done in terms of maybe post application requirements, we take it from them and give it to the university. So we reach out ourselves, and the students have more transparency of all the process, which is we have given them all the control. So they don't have to do everything on their own. Till the time they want our services, we are here to provide them, but it's not a compulsion.
Cool. So you are a business. We are business club. I have to ask you a business question.
Yes, of course.
What would you advise someone brand new who is trying to get into the edtech space? Someone who wants to become a student counselor. Where should they start? What are the lessons that you've learned which actually can help them? Because I'm sure there are a lot many counselors
Yeah.
who will come after you. They've come before you. So what would you advise them to do?
Unlearn whatever you have learned while working with a company, while working with a consultancy.
Unlearn?
Yes,
Okay.
because we have been, made to thought in a particular way that we have to convince the student for a particular university. Say, for example, the student is eligible to go for UIUC, University of
Let's
Illinois
say if
at
it's a
Urbana
brand
Champaign.
new, we talk about someone like Haryan, say he's brand new from Clemson, graduate, and he wants to start a career counseling in student counseling programs. What would you advise him?
First of all, I would like to understand his reasoning behind going for this particular
Okay,
profession. If that is correct, then
so that
I'm
should be a
there.
passion. Okay.
Yes, it should be a passion, and it should be the correct reasoning, not the admission commission. Don't go after that.
Yeah, yeah, of
Go
course.
for the students' betterment. You will have the money
The
following you
right reason you
eventually.
will.
Yeah, but go for the student betterment, and because it is the career, it goes with a humongous amount of responsibility. It's not just a privilege that you tell them, the student, no, go there because I'm telling you I'm your counselor. Then go for the proper certifications and accreditation. Like I myself, it's costly. right? So after I have worked with all the companies, then before opening Rise, I got into the process of spending that kind of money and do those certifications, which make me a qualified education admission counselor. The previous
In the
organization
US.
in the US, also in UK, I have been for Oceanic and for Asia as well. So go for that particular certifications, go for the accreditations, and then only tell the students with, while you're backed up with the brand name.
Can you name some of the certifications?
There's NACAC, National Association of College Admission Counselors. That is a US-based organization which accreditates all the admission counselors, whether it is independent education counselors or the university or the school education counselors. Then there is ICEF, there is PEER, there is British Council, which is primarily for UK-based education, and there's IDP, my company.
Your parent company.
Yes, my favorite company. I'm not sure they would like to call me that, but
No,
my
that's
favorite
fine. I
company.
mean, that's your go-to company,
Yeah,
if you will.
yeah. I really, it's mostly because of the people I've worked with over there. They have given us so much liberty of, practicing how we would want it, of help going ahead with the student, going way beyond and helping the student in whatever possible ways you can. And they were not like focused on invoices, invoices, invoices.
Right, right, right. Very good. What one lesson that you learned that you would like to let the other entrepreneurs know in succeeding as an educational counselor?
Students are never wrong, right? Listen to the students. Sometimes we are like, oh, they're telling the same story. My friend told me that, ma'am, is the fees is very very high. We still that okay, you apply there, then we'll apply for scholarship. There are higher chances that the student have already applied somewhere else. Sometimes with the previous organization, we had the limitation in which we were only helping the student for a particular country. Even if the student would like to apply for a secondary country, we could not, right? But eventually the student applied through their own, or they applied through someone else, and they went there. So all our effort was all in vain, right? So listen to the students very very carefully. They will never let the thought down till the time you do not acknowledge it. They will never let the thought
Hmm.
down. Even if it's a misconception, it is your duty as a counselor to clear it.
Got it. So let me put that same question in a different way. What would you advise a young entrepreneur about? You've had 17 years of experience and you had a very long journey. Not long, very mid journey, I would
No, it
say.
is long journey.
From in
I
that space.
I have been into from the area in which we used to do paper application for
Of
students. We
course,
used
yeah.
to
From that,
make couriers, and we used to send it to the university.
from that to now with AI and all that. So
Yeah.
it's a long journey, of course. So as an entrepreneur, what pitfalls would you want the new generation of entrepreneurs to avoid? I'm sure you would have had some lessons learned along the journey.
Yeah.
So what can you explain to the our next generation entrepreneurs? Anything that comes out? I mean, obviously the be genuine and be you have to have the right reasons and things like that. But any new lessons that you want to say?
One satisfied student is bigger than 100 unsatisfied students,
Great
right?
point.
Even
Yeah.
if you are unable to you are able to send them somehow, they are never going to come back with the references. And if you are able to send one student, they're going to come back with 100 references next
Right.
year.
Right.
So do your research. Do not blindly go into education, because nowadays everyone is a mentor. No, if you if you look on LinkedIn, everyone 18-year-old kid is a life coach. He's a mentor. He's a career coach, which is, it's very disheartening for me, because I have deep admiration for my
Yeah, you have
profession.
mentors and your
Yeah,
profession. Yeah.
and mentors really mean something to
Mm.
me. When someone comes as a proclaimed mentor and they just tell me the answer from Wikipedia, it really pisses me off. So I'm again from the Wikipedia time, so that's why
Right.
I
Right.
can
Right.
say it now. It's all Chat GPT and other chatbots. So do not play with someone's career,
Mm.
right? With any of the amateur or half cooked information. Do not do that.
Right. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your goals for Rise Higher.
Mhm.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years?
I would like Rise to be a LinkedIn like platform. Like for LinkedIn, everyone uses it.
Mm,
Even a fresh school graduate, they uses it, and it is very very streamlined that anyone can just navigate it through,
right.
and they understand. Even if they would like to have to do the course, they would like to get the recommendation, they understand it. In the similar way, I would like Rise to be open for everyone without any payment. It's part of the habit that, if you have to go for anything education, do it for Rise.
Mm.
So I would like it to be a LinkedIn like a platform which is accessible and open to all without any partiality, without
Any
any
bias and
biasness, and they will give you the accurate information. I would also like the universities and students to come a little bit closer, maybe with the help of Rise, that is in the future as well, in case I mean, if they will get too closer, then they are bugging up the university. We also do not want to do that, but there should be some common platform in which the students and the university can get an answer. Students get an answer directly from the university. Right now, we are telling them, but we are in the middle. So removing us, there should be some way in which university and students can get
that's awesome.
better together in order to help them. Even because even for the university, there are so many seats which get unfulfilled, right? Every year, more than 38% of the seats are unfulfilled, and they come to us, they help us. The only reason why they are recruiting through an education counselor is because they are unable to get that quality of admission. So not only with the student, our responsibility is also with the
Of
university
course,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
matched
Mm.
to the particular to a certain set of the students they are willing to. So helping the universities also identify. So we would like to bring them a little bit closer with the help of Rise. And again, even now it's a global platform, so we have the inquiries from all over the world. We do not stop them, we still entertain them, we try to help them as much as we can. We do not have on our tips about the visa policies and everything, so we tell them that till here we'll be able to help you out,
After that,
but
it's for you
yeah,
to take.
yeah, I mean, we would be able to do that, but we can also give you some resources through which you can do it on your own. So we would like it to be a global platform from anywhere to everywhere. So whosoever student just dare to dream higher, whether abroad or into their country, they should be able to do that with Rise Higher Education.
Awesome. Do you see yourself as like a matchmaking platform at some point for students to colleges or
Yes,
universities?
yes. Matchmaking platform as well as yeah, I can say that that is a correct word for a matchmaking platform. We actually a part of our portal is called as Course Matchmaker. So with the help of the students. Career goals, whether short term or long term career goals, we help them identify what kind of courses you
Hmm.
should be able to do with the current courses, with the current profile they have, and the career goals, what they are willing to do. So these and these are the courses which will help you in getting into these and these industry. So a part of it is already there.
That's awesome. One thing we probably didn't touch much is after they come to the country,
Mhm.
whether it's UK, US, or Canada, or any of the countries, accommodation is
Yeah,
how do you tackle that?
we have our accommodation portal.
Okay.
So, if the student is looking for off campus accommodation, because most of the postgraduate students are, for undergraduate, some universities even make it compulsory for the students to have the on campus accommodation. But mostly for postgraduate students, they are more independent, and they would like to pool an apartment and live with their friends. So, we help them in identifying the off campus accommodation.
Mhm.
And there is a shortage of accommodation. So, we always tell the student as soon as you have your admit and from the priority institution in which you are targeting, go and book your accommodation. So sometimes that booking is without a fee or a minimal application fee,
Mhm.
$100, 150, $200, not more than that. They're not asking for 1 month, 2 month, or 3 months deposit.
Oh,
And
the that's from the people who are
housing
providing. Okay,
providers,
okay. So
yeah. So
nothing from
we,
your side.
yeah.
So it's free. Is it free, or is it they have to pay you some amount also for using the portal?
It's free.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
so we, based on where the university campuses, we help them identify the accommodation. They can book it much in advance. So they have everything ready while they are going for.
Great. Before we end, I'd like to give you the opportunity to speak anything that we have missed covering?
Come with the right reasons when you are coming abroad. So when I'm talking about some countries like Canada,
Hmm.
students are dependent a lot on their part-time jobs,
Right.
right? And they might be having the similar kind of expectation while they're coming to US or maybe France. What I have seen, the courses are far much more comprehensive when you're coming to these countries, and you might not have that much amount of time. So you have only 24 hours. If you're spending time on part-time job, you would
Right.
not be able to focus on your studies. If you're not focused on your studies, you're not getting good grades. Now the professors, they're not only professors, they're practitioners, they're working with companies, so they would be able to recommend you for part-time or full-time job eventually
Right.
if you are doing well in studies. So focus on
Absolutely.
your studies, right? So get your finances sorted first and then come. Do not rely a lot on part-time job. Then only you'll be having better, future opportunities to follow you, in my opinion.
Of course. Anything else that you want to say
For students,
for students as well as entrepreneurs? Because this is your platform. You can say whatever you
um,
want.
I am an education enthusiast, so I am helped a lot of students, lot of budding entrepreneurs as well to set up a part of our offerings, and I'm always there to help. So I'm always excited to network with the education enthusiast. So let me know how can I help, whether it's students or entrepreneurs. I'm always here to help you out.
Sure. Akriti, thank you for coming. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure having you.
Of course.
You've opened my eyes into the higher education world, and I'd love to hear more about your success and how you're able to help several thousands of students more. So,
Yeah.
all the very best.
I'm sure Business Club will be a reason behind our success as
I'm
well in
sure,
the
yeah.
future.
Oh,
Thank you
fingers
so
crossed. Yeah,
much.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And it was lovely. I didn't fumble much, so I'm happy
You're very
about
fine.
it.
You're absolutely fine. Hey guys, I hope you really liked the video. And if you did, please like, subscribe, and comment. And we would like to reach many more small business owners. I would really appreciate if you can share the video with them as well. Thank you and see you until next time. Have a great one.